what steps did you or the Department of Health take to investigate this finding of irreparable harm because of mandating masks on these children?
We did what we said we would do. We looked for scientific literature that supported this finding.
Now, who's we?
Myself and the medical staff.
So after you found this ruling from the judge, you met with the medical staff?
As I said in this preliminary injunction hearing, we had been looking all along. We didn't stop looking, and I'm still open to it to this day.
Okay, so since November of last year, you continued to look at medical journals to see if there's anything about harm from masking. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
Did you do anything other than look for medical journals?
No. We have an open mind. We look at all medical journals. I was open to anything I could find.
Do you know who a Tracy Beth Hogue is? Dr. Hogue? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. H-O-E-G?
No, I do not know this person.
So you're not aware that she did a study using CDC data about masking of children in schools?
Yeah, I'm not aware of this study.
How about a study from this year about face masks disrupting the holistic processing and face perception in school-age children? Did you read that study?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Did you read a study about fungal mask contamination in the COVID-19 era?
No, I'm not familiar with this study.
See, I'm looking at a study on the physics of fluids that was published in January of this year. So it was after our trial, our hearing. And it talks about modeling the filtration efficiency of a woven fabric mask. Were you aware of this study?
No, I'm not, as I said, I'm not aware of this study. And these are studies you're talking about that seem to be in really poorly known journals. And I guess I'm not familiar with these poorly known journals.
Are you aware of the Pediatric Infectious Disease Journal?
Yes. Are
you aware that in April of 2022, they published a study, the role of children and young people in the transmission of SARS-CoV-2?
I'm not aware of the study.
Are you aware that in that study, they concluded, quote, there is no convincing evidence to date, 2 years into the pandemic, that children are key drivers of the pandemic?
No, I don't agree with that assessment.
But you do know this journal, and it's a reputable journal, right?
It's a peer-reviewed journal, and I know it, yes.
Can you give me one study that you've looked at that has studied the efficacy of masks in schools since November of last year?
Yeah, so as I said during the preliminary injunction hearing, I find great credibility in the Centers for Disease Control science brief. It's been updated. It's got over 80 different articles referenced in there. And, it does talk about the value of cloth masks and other masks. And that's a guidance document that I find persuasive. And that's something that I've found to be useful. So that's the basis for my opinion.
So the only basis you look at is what CDC says?
We have an open mind. We look at all medical journals.